Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all well. It's not quite stupid o'clock because I was up at stupid o'clock getting everything ready to show you. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're all well today. It is Friday morning, and I thought better grab this chance because, as I said the other day, I really just got everything ready to start, and then all went pear-shaped. It's been non-stop since, but I just wanted to show you some of the things that we've been doing this week. You have seen some of the things. I wanted to show you an update with the Santa that I did with the lantern. Well, he's finished now. Let me see, just move this light away a little. Yeah, so there he is. And we fitted a chain to the lantern, which is now up there. So he has his chain, he's finished, he's ready to go. There you are, all done. I hadn't remembered, I didn't know how I was going to add the chain last time, but I figured it out. Tricky one. So I'm glad he worked out. He came out really nice. Okay, let me put this light somewhere else because it's really... Nope, it's reflecting too much of something. There's a little bit better. Okay, so that's him ready to go. I'll put him there. Another thing we did was we finished a couple of the little Welsh ladies, and they've gone into Shop Wales in Cardiff. That's the only place you'll find them now because this is a trial in the shop to see how they go. Almost making a loss on them, but it's just helping out. It's another small business and getting our stuff out there. And this is Little Welsh Lady. They're all different. I think I showed you before. Some of them had blonde hair, some red, some brown, and some really dark, and some actually grey. So there's the Welsh ladies. If you look at Shop Wales, you'll see them in their post. So that's what we did. By Saturday last week they went in. Hang on, let me take a sip of my lemon balm and licorice tea. Oh, there you go. I started and almost finished the order for all the Mary and Joseph's. They're almost done. I just need to do some shading inside the lines. I hadn't done that before. They were literally this plain before, and this is why they were ordered, but at the risk of making things even better than they've ever been before, I'm going to add just a tiny little bit of shadowing in there just for a bit more dimension in the lines, and then varnish them, and then they're ready to go. So that's them. It's a set of those, 5 of them, 5 sets. So that's that done, and I've on the side, instead of a solid line, I've blended. See if the colours have blended in. They've blended rather than a solid line, so that looks a bit better. Okay, I'll put them back there. So that's one thing almost done. They'll be done tomorrow. The spoon that the whittler had whittled yesterday out, not yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? I think the day before, out of a piece of, yeah, yesterday was way too cold. A piece of buddleia wood, a nice big, trunk of buddleia that I found that wasn't any good for anything at the school garden. It was too small to use for bed edging, and it was a wonky shape. That's why the spoon is kind of bent a little, because that's the shape of the wood, and we went with the grain. So it wasn't going to be any good for the school. They were going to chuck it, so I brought it home, and that turned out absolutely beautiful. Who'd have thought buddleia wood could look that beautiful? And I mean, it would have been quite a few years old. How many on these rings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10 years old, this piece of wood that this came from. So buddleia, a good one that had been left to make trunks. And I have seen buddleia that have been left to naturalize, and they could become quite almost tree-like shrubs with really thick trunks. So I am sure that if I trained a couple of mine, we could get some wood to harvest off it like this in a few years, quite a few years. But wood to harvest for items like that. So it'll be interesting to see if we could grow our own buddleia wood for use, to find a use for all things. So I'm very happy with that, and it came out really beautiful with the markings. There you go. I just can't stop handling it. These wooden spoons are so nice to handle. Really lovely to touch. There you go. That's why I always struggle to part with things that are natural wood and not covered. It's so tactile. Now, one thing you weren't expecting this week that we'd done as pumpkins. Look, little characters. Yeah, we did these. Right. Little face. Oh my goodness, sorry. Lively little things. Little monsters. Just for this week, because at the shop tomorrow they have a Halloween party at the Cardiff Creative Shop, and we thought, well, we'll just put a couple of little things in, and we'll see how that goes. They are, I don't know if you can see them, put that light off there, maybe see a bit better. Yeah, it's better without. So they have, this one's got rather droopy looking eyes, a bit zombie-ish. He's got some green slime coming out of his teeth. And then if you can't really see the details very well, I'll have to take photographs and put them up on Facebook for you to see the details properly. Yeah, it's not very good, is it? Well, for once I get a bright light I could paint by and you can't see it through it properly on the camera. There you go. So that's that one. This one is looking a bit mesmerized with his eyes squinted, smiling. You can see his teeth better on this one, and he's also drooling a bit of green slime. Little pumpkins. And this one. He's looking a bit menacing sideways. Can you see his look? He's looking out to the side. He's got double chin. That worked out cute. There you go. Double chin, and his hat's got a little bit of green on the black there. Yeah, he's cute. He's pretty characterful. This one's looking a bit worried, actually. He's looking a bit scared. What could a monster be scared of? Still got slime in his mouth, though. Maybe he's worried about the after effects of eating whatever he was eating. And this one, instead of hats, these ones have got stalks at the top, just like your normal pumpkins. Although they don't look like any pumpkin I've ever seen. Long-faced. Why the long face? He's looking a bit droopy too. Another double-chinned pumpkin. Yeah, with a little bit of drool on them. They've all got a little bit of drool. I can't have a ghoulish, zombie-ish looking pumpkin without a bit of drool there, can ya? I like how the shading on these ones came out on the tops. I don't know if you can see that. The shading came out really nice on the tops there. Oh, that took a bit of work. And there you go, there's this one. Bit bemused. I like his skew little face. Like, yeah, right. And he's also drooling a bit. Maybe bored. With this like a stalk on the top and the same kind of shading. There you go. Oh, there, that's a bit better. And he's a big one. Now, whether he's this big or this big, they took the same amount of time to paint each one. So, yeah, again, I don't know that we're going to be making our money back off that, but we'll try anyway. And this, just because it's this weekend, you never know, we might have a bit of luck there. But that was just a bit of fun thing Whitler wanted to do, and I said obviously I'd paint it, so there was a bit of pressure on that one. It was a spontaneous creation this week. So yeah, I've been busy, to say the least, with a load of stuff in between the crafts. But I've enjoyed doing the pumpkins. It was nice to put those little faces on. I always enjoy putting faces on things because they have such character. But what I'm really, really looking forward to after this week, from next week, because I'll be away on Monday, Tuesday, is the trees for this order that I showed you before. That is going to be an interesting one because I liked doing those. Hang on. Next one that I want to do as well, a special one, because then I've got to get on with the not so the everyday stuff, is these. This tree with sitting on the presents, with the presents underneath. I can't wait to get stuck into this one. It is an interesting one, and it'll also have a plinth underneath. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. It'll have a plinth underneath with all the presents, and then this tree I'm going to try and make quite special. So this will be another special painting project I'm going to do next week, as well as that order, and get some snowmen done for the craft fairs. So that'll be interesting, and I can't wait to get that done. So just to show you what's coming up next week, what's done this week. Today I'll be in Cardiff Creative Shop, putting things in order on the shelves and helping out a bit. I've got to, because each crafter has to volunteer a day a month in the shop. I think apparently that's quite normal for creative places like that in galleries, because I heard someone say last night that somebody had to do the same in a gallery, an art gallery. So maybe that's just something that comes with the trade. You need to volunteer and help. But I think it's also to do with keeping down the rent for us, and to help out the owners who also probably need some help. It's a tricky thing. But yeah, I did mention, what's the time now? 12 minutes. Have I got time to say a little bit extra? Because I said in the one video that I wanted to say what I thought was the difference between self-reliance and self-sufficiency, and that there was an important difference, and what that meant actually. So I think I'm distracted. I've got Enya playing in the back. That's no good. I haven't got much further with the Victorian hat. I've got a bit of cream lace on the edge that's got to be sewn on. I shall do that next week as well, because obviously I'm going to run out of time if I don't. Oh, I did find something else while clearing out. Poster, an old poster from the publishers when I had my book published. Yeah, it's yeah, my shoestring house. It's my poster from when I had my book published. I got a couple of these. Do you think I could find anywhere I could put these posters up? Was that a waste of money? How do I put up posters somewhere? I think you have to have permission to put posters up, and wherever I ask permission, they don't put posters up. So where on earth could I put up a poster? I'll try the library, and I'll donate one book. I'll donate a book and a poster to the library and ask if they'll do that. Maybe my local library, I could ask them to do a feature on local authors, because I know of at least 2 on this estate, and we have a library on our estate, so we're very fortunate that way. So yeah, this book I wrote in 2010. I had it published, or was it 2011? One of those two. and I haven't been able to do anything with it since. But it seems now very appropriate because of the situation we're in. That was written after the last economic crash, but I think I feel that we're heading for another challenging time, and I think the book is probably now very appropriate, even though it's slightly outdated. I am busy writing a new one, but I don't know that it's going to be finished before it's needed. And even if it is, could I afford to have it published? Let me show you. That was it. That's the book, My Shoestring House. Okay. My Shoestring House. It is basic. There is no pictures, right? Who can afford to put pictures in? I'd have to save up a lot for that. It's small, but it talks about my experiences and those of other people that I knew and know and love. Their experiences on living on a shoestring, a bit of the history of that, and some of the ideas that I've used. Now, up to then, I hadn't started this journey yet. This new strain of the journey that I'm doing now. I hadn't started that journey yet, but these are the beginnings of what inspired me to this journey of self-reliance and zero waste. And my environmental feelings came from religious backgrounds and understandings, and my spiritual feelings on a lot of things. So my love of nature, my love of people, my love of living the best that I possibly can with what I've got, to make do and mend, and to not hurt anything or anyone, and always strive to. And I mean, I'm a human being, so I'm not going to fall short on that all the time. That's evident in every day. I've fallen short for many years on my environmental attempts to live a zero waste life, and as I explained in the last week's videos, that I feel that it's almost impossible, unless you've got a lot of money, to live 100% zero waste, because then you can afford to buy bulk of stuff. But even then, somewhere along the chain, there's been some kind of waste involved somewhere, because you can't guarantee that everybody down the chain where you purchase something or get something has had the same attitude. Even if you buy stuff without packaging, there's got to be something somewhere that's going to impact the environment, even if it's the fossil fuels for transport or manufacturing of stuff. So this is part of what turned the key for me to be able to go on this journey, and I hope I'll be able to, even if I can't afford to buy the books myself, to sell them, because I have to buy quite a big volume of books to get a good enough discount to make any money at all on it. And it was part of the idea that I wrote this book so that I could start to bring in a bit of money as one of those other income sources. But it hasn't worked that way, so I'm hoping to promote it. It is so naive. It is, as far as editing, there was no editing done except for what I read through 6 times myself, but I was too close to the work and so tired that I missed a load of stuff. Next time I will get somebody to edit it for me, but this was done very quickly on extreme shoestrings. It was practicing what I preach, self-published, and now I'm stuck with books that I can't afford to buy myself to sell. Instead, it's left to the publisher and to Amazon to sell, and I think over the years I've had 84 pence in royalties. It's a very big amount. It's fantastic. Woo, written a book. But it doesn't matter. So yeah, I will probably do another day when I'm talking about this, and I will read a little bit to you from it. But it's finding those posters has given me a new, maybe I should do something with this, because it's really appropriate right now, and at the same time I need to make time to finish writing the other one, if I could do that, it would be brilliant. So it would be brilliant if I could get it out by February next year. Do you think I could write it between Christmas and February and get it published? I did find a local printers in Cardiff actually that do all the printing and the binding, and they do this kind of stuff right local. So that would be brilliant, because it's a move, because my publishers I found very annoying, even though they have an office in London. I don't know, it's they'll be happy to do a load of stuff for you at extra costs that are just phenomenal. So they're raking in the money. So I thought, if I get everything ready myself, get it edited, and again come up with my own front page like I did with that one, instead of paying somebody to do it for me. I know it's naive, I know it's not that professional, but it's practicing what I preach, to do the best I can with what I've got. And I will do that again, but at least I will be bringing it closer to home as far as the printing goes, and then I will still have to handle all my own marketing as well, and selling and things like that. But at least it's me that's forking out the cost but getting the money in, because through Amazon, if it's sold through Amazon, I only get 10% royalties. If it's sold through the publisher, 25%. So if I don't sell any books, I don't get anything, and if I do, I still get pennies. So I'm going to do it that way next time. I have a local printer. We're very fortunate, it's not 3 miles away from me, so I will go and investigate them. I have another friend who is also an author, who has written novels and poems, or stories and poems, and he said he'd go with me. We'd go together to this printer, because he also would like some of his work published. So we'll investigate together and see what we can do for you, both for himself and myself, and see if we can get that to work. But I'll keep you updated on that. We're up to 22 minutes now, and I really need to get going with the day, because I need to price up these pumpkins and get a few things ready for me to take to the shop today. So I'm going to do that now, get breakfast for everybody, and I think that's it. I am going to not stress today, because it's going to be a long day. I'll only be home by about 7 o'clock, and I'll be bussing it, because I'm not going to drive to the city centre and park there all day. It'll cost a fortune. So I'm going to take the buses today. So both to save money and fuel and mileage, and a little bit more environmental. Not that I think it makes a difference, because the comparison between a huge bus and the fumes it produces and a car, but then, you know, I don't think it makes that much of a difference as far as that's concerned. But at least there'll be less cars on the road, because there's one less, mine. Alright, my lovelies, I'm waffling. It's already 23 minutes on the video. It's going to take forever to upload, so I best get doing that. Have a lovely day. It is chilly out there and frosty. We've had our first frosts this week. So winter is practically here. It's the beginning bits where autumn merges into winter, that beautiful, magical time where the atmosphere is tangible in the sky, and it's full of excitement and anticipation for the cold to come, and for the celebrations that we have as human beings. I'll talk about that a little bit later in another video, but it's also, I don't know, I love the excitement between each season. I feel it. It's something that wells up inside me, that there's something special about every season that comes. And this is an extremely busy season, and I'm just going to throw myself into it and enjoy it. So there you go. Whatever your season brings to you, I'm hoping it'll be some good and happiness. Enjoy it, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.